Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you my October favorites. I can't believe how fast this month went by, but psh, off it's gone, and now it's going to be Thanksgiving and Christmas before we know it. But if you'd like to see what things I've been enjoying this month, please keep on watching. Alright, I have a little basket here and I'm just going to go in no particular order. Again, it's not going to be an hour and a half long. I just chose some of the things that I have really liked this month. And so let's get into it. I'm going to start with some fragrances. I do have all my research prepared for my perfume fragrance collection, or my favorite perfumes, basically. It's not going to be my entire collection, but the ones that I like the best. But both of these are from Scentbird. If you're not familiar with Scentbird, it's a monthly subscription, and you get to like kind of set up a queue of the fragrances that you would like to try, and they have a little atomizer and a little case that you can put in your purse or whatever. I have more perfumes than I do cases, so I just use them. You can use them without the little case. But the two that I've really been enjoying this month, and like I said before in one of my other videos, the time between fall and winter, I kind of have some fragrances that I like for those months in particular, because it's not too cool and it's not too warm, and I kind of like an in-between, not really light fragrance, but not really spicy or heavy fragrance either. The two that I have here, one is Marc Jacobs Daisy Oh So Fresh. I like all of the Daisy scents, actually. I haven't smelled one that I haven't liked yet, but I really like this one. It's really a nice, clean floral scent. And the other one is Coach. And I learned about Coach from my sister-in-law, Susan. She has always worn this, or at least for a long time has worn this. And it's just a really nice fragrance. It kind of reminds me of Dare, Guess Dare, and Karl Lagerfeld that I talked about in my last favorites video. It's hard to identify what the fragrance or what the scents are. It's not really floral, and it's not spicy, and it can almost be a unisex fragrance, but I really like it. So those are the two that I've really been liking this month. I've got some lashes here, and you guys would probably rather drink Drano than listen to me talk about Christina lashes anymore. But I'm back with the Wispies. I still am loving the Christina Wispies. I really love these for days when I don't want to have an eyelash accident. I want one that I know works, and I like these the most because they have such a thin band and it's very light, and when you have them on, you can't really tell that they're on. Also, they're wispy enough to not hide some really beautiful eyeshadow work. If you've worked hard to create a beautiful eye look, you don't necessarily want to put a giant, big, heavy, dense lash in front of it where you can't see it, at least if you have eyes like mine. So there's one. Another is the Kiss Lash Couture in Little Black Dress. These, when I first looked at these in the store, and these are kind of drugstore, I think they're about $6. I thought, gosh, these look so short, but they're not. They're perfect, and they're not like everyday, just casual lashes. They are rather dramatic, and they're dark and wispy. They're really heavy and dense toward the lash line, but then they wisp out, and they're beautiful, and they add a lot of drama to a look. They don't look like they would do that, but they do, and they're beautiful, and you've probably seen them in some of my tutorials because I use them quite a bit. For the palettes, you probably already know this. At least these are a couple of them. I could have chosen probably 5, but these are my newer ones that I've really been playing with and trying to just kind of figure out what to do with them and just figure out some different looks. I've filmed a look with both of these and kind of a review on one of them. But the first one is the Anastasia Prism. And you guys already know how I feel about Anastasia Beverly Hills Shadows. I am a believer. I am a fan. Even the Subculture I love, but this is a beautiful palette. It just has so many unusual colors in it, and as I've said recently, I'm really in a mauvey, taupey, kind of cooler color vibe right now, and this just fits in perfectly with that. But there's a lot that I want to try with this. I want to get into the shimmers a little more and figure out, you know, what I can do with those, but I really love the peachy, the kind of milk chocolate brown, and I love this Lure color. It's my favorite, but I need to get into some of the other ones. So there'll be some more playtime with this one coming up. Next is the Lorac Pro Mega 4. And I'm also a Lorac fan, and you guys also know this. I've only done one look with this on the demo that I did and the review that I did, and it ended up being a really cool kind of blue and green look. I didn't even start off intending for it to turn out that way, but it did, and it was really pretty. I used denim right here. I used peacock. I can't remember the other ones actually. Oh, I used fairy tale down here, and it ended up being really pretty. A lot different than what I ordinarily come up with. I'm not drawn to cool tones. I've been working hard trying to get out of my comfort zone with those, right, Deb? But anyway, I really like this palette, and gosh, with all these colors, 2 rows of mattes, 2 rows of shimmers. I mean, the possibilities are endless. So again, I need to spend some more time with this palette and come up with some other looks with it. But I couldn't believe it went on sale for half price. I don't understand that really, like from a marketing perspective. I don't understand it. And if you're wondering what that black thing is in the corner, that would be Boo Bear, my kitty cat. He's in the window being nosy. But anyway, they put this on half price, and it just blew my mind because like this is their probably big seller around the holiday season, and it just shocked me that they put it on for half price. I was a little bit ticked off. So I'm like, hey, I just paid full price for this, you know, at least assuming that it would be months and months before it would ever be discounted or on clearance or whatever. And so, yeah, I would have waited, but oh wells. I have it, and I'm happy to have it. Next, I'm just going to talk about these 2 products together because they come from the same line. First is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. My favorite. Love this. It's a matte foundation, but it doesn't look dry and dusty. Like some matte foundations are so, they make my skin look so dry that even if they keep like my T-zone oiliness at bay, then the rest of my face looks just like dry and crusty, and I don't like that. So I'm guessing the comfort part of that description is because it's not satin by any means, but it's a very soft, like, I even want to call it peach fuzz, not even trying to be funny, kind of like a peach fuzz softness. And I just really like it. It's perfect for my skin because it doesn't look dry and cakey on the outside of my face, and it keeps the inner part of my face where I tend to get oily very matte. And so far this is perfect. And like, I'm kind of nervous that there's this much gone. I also love that it has a pump inside, even though it's a squeezy tube. I love that kind of packaging. And the powder that goes with it is called Peach Perfect, and it says it's a mattifying loose setting powder. I like it because, and I put everything into the cap whenever I'm using it, so it's probably kind of messy, but I love the packaging because it has a little sifter cover so that it doesn't spill out everywhere, and you can kind of control the amount. But I wanted to show you, I don't know if you can see that it kind of has a peachy undertone to it. It's not like necessarily translucent, but the color just adds a little bit of softness to your skin. It doesn't look peachy, and it doesn't look necessarily translucent. It definitely doesn't have that white cast that some do with setting powders. But this is like up there with my Laura Mercier loose translucent setting powder, which I didn't think anything could top that or even be in contention with being my favorite, but I do like this. They both have that peachy scent. It's more of a natural peach scent, not really like a peach candy scent, but it's not offensive. It's not strong and overbearing, and once you put it on your face after a few seconds, you don't smell it anymore. So love these, love both of these. Probably going to become a permanent part of my collection, and I can see myself repurchasing these over and over. And you guys know I had a little tiff with Too Faced there for a while, but they're redeeming themselves with this. And I didn't grab the Just Peachy palette because I just posted a tutorial using it, and I raved about it there, so I'm not going to rave about it here. But I love that palette too. I would like to try the primer and a few of the other products that are in the line, but I'm really glad that I got these two. These are favorites already, and I've only had them for like a month, so yay, Too Faced. There might be a reconciliation happening. A few weeks back, I went through my collection and really cleaned things out and kind of did some decluttering and some reorganization, and decided that I was going to try to get back into the shop my stash mode. And so I went through and grabbed some things that I hadn't used in a long time that either I didn't know if I liked or not, or I knew I liked and I just for some reason didn't have it nearby and didn't reach for it. So what I'm talking about now is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Liquid. This is, I got this in my BoxyCharm, and I was a little disappointed that I didn't get the pressed powder version of this, and it's Prosecco Pop is the shade, because I don't do well with liquid highlighters usually. But I did find a way to use this. After I put my foundation on, before I use powder to set everything, I use my beauty blender that's already damp, and I just put it along the areas that I'm going to highlight. Just my regular highlighting areas. Then I set my face, and when I do my bronzer and blush, I go ahead and top it with a powder or a more intense highlighter, and it just amps up the intensity of the highlighter. I was in my life group, and it's online, and so I'm on a camera, and I wasn't feeling well that day, so I kept leaning my head over, and every once in a while I'd look up and I was like, man, my highlight is popping. And even one of my group members, Crystal, said, man, your highlight is on point today. I was like, thank you. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, maybe I've found a way to use the liquid highlighter. Sometimes I just have to work with something long enough to figure out how it's the most effective. And so I've decided that I like liquid highlighter, at least this one. And how can you go wrong with Becca when you're talking about highlighters? Those are some of my favorites. Speaking of glowy, shimmery wonderfulness, another couple things that I had added to my everyday drawer are these Glaze-In Eye Gloss by Butter London. And I have the unicorn shade, which is kind of a holographic, all different color. I mean, I don't know how to describe it. I guess that's why it's called unicorn, because it just kind of does magical stuff on your lid. These are the weirdest consistency. They're a gel, and it's like a bouncy jello kind of consistency. I'll show you. I don't know if you can tell. But the other one I have is frosted, and it's a rose gold color. That's the one I'm opening here. But it's got this weird jelly consistency. And you don't expect it to do what it does. I apply it with my finger. It takes the tiniest amount. So I would imagine keeping these tightly lidded is important, because I think it could probably dry out, but it takes the tiniest bit, like the amount the size of the tip of a Q-tip. And I just like rub it over my eyelid, and it is like a very fine glitter and cream eyeshadow combined. And it just puts this wash of glitter and shimmer over your lid, and it's beautiful. Like I said, this is I don't know, I might have been showing you the unicorn. I was. It looks rose gold, but let me tell you, when you put it on, let me just swatch it. When you put it on your eyelid, it turns into some kind of beautiful, it's like a transformational, I don't even know what it does. But it has every color in the rainbow, and I probably just got way too much on my finger. But I hope with the lighting here, I hope you'll be able to see. I'm going to swatch it on my hand here. Oh my goodness. I don't know if it's even going to show up, but it's like pink and purple and blue, like holographic. It's so pretty. And the glitter is so fine that it doesn't feel chunky. You can put your eyeliner on over it. It's just incredible. And I think even if you used a black base, it would really accentuate that. I think that would be a whole new effect. I need to try that. But it's on my finger here. I hope you can see the beautifulness and the uniqueness of this kind of product. And I mean, at the end of the, like I'm trying to wipe it off with the towel and it's still hanging on strong. But at the end of the day, it looks exactly the same as it did. There is a little bit of glitter fallout, but barely any. And I even was messing around with colors on the outside of it after I applied it, and I still didn't have a mess of glitter all over my face. So extremely happy with that. The other one, why don't I just go ahead and swatch that one too? The other one, Frosted, is rose gold. And I just used this the other day, and man, I'll insert a picture if I have one. I'm not sure if I took pictures that day or not. But it is so pretty. And again, there's the jelly weirdness. But hey, I'm not knocking it because it is beautiful. I'm going to try to get a tiny bit this time. But let's see. I'll put it right here. And it's like a rose gold copperish color. It's so pretty. I don't know if this even does it justice. But I was like, I honestly, I got this at the 21 Days of Beauty. I honestly wish that I had gotten like every shade because I had no idea. I was just like on a whim thinking, wow, that looks interesting. Let me just try a couple. And they were on sale for half price. And I've actually seen them on almost every 21 Days of Beauty. So I hope next time they come back with that because I will be getting some others. And they are just so cool. And the thing about it is that when you start working with glitters or even the Stila ones, which I love, you have to, like, they're kind of finicky and you have to be careful with what you're doing or you will end up with glitter all over your face. The thing I love about this is like it is as simple as just rubbing it across your eyelid and then bam, you've got shimmery, glittery beautifulness on your lid. And so I'm pretty cool with the no-nonsense kind of application of anything, especially, you know, when I want to do something a little fancy when I'm going to work. And even when I'm going out, it would make it a lot easier. But love those. Next is something that I have been wanting to buy for a long time. I was so excited whenever MAC came to Ulta because I just don't have a MAC counter close. Don't like making online orders that much whenever shipping is expensive. I'm just adverse to that whole situation, especially when I've never tried something. You know, spending a lot of money to have it shipped to me to find out I hate it kind of thing. But I love it with Ulta because I have an Ulta nearby. I can return it if I hate it. But all that to say, I finally got some MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. And when I saw this on Jaclyn Hill videos forever. She uses it on her lower lash line and Nook and several people. And I thought, gosh, what is so good about this? Because I've used the Rimmel accelerated lash accelerator forever. But this has a really interesting wand. It's got lots of little bristles, but it's narrow. And man, you can really get in there, wiggle and drag down and just fan those lashes out. And it's super black. And it just really, I mean, I have it on right now. And I don't have any lower eyelashes. And it looks like I do. So this is some good stuff. And I'm so glad that I finally got it. It's going to be one of those ones that's going to be like a ride or die thing. And I already know that because it's that good. I went through and pulled out a whole gang of lip liners because I have so many. I kept buying them, trying to find the perfect shade, and I probably had those perfect shades all along. These MAC lip liners came with the set with a lippy, but I really like these. They stay on forever. Like, my lip color can be long gone, and the lip liner will still be there at the end of the day, and I love that. But I have the shades... I have the shades Whirl and Boldly Bare and Soar. And when you look at these, I kind of have a peachy nude, a pinky nude, and then more of a rosy mauve. And like one of these goes with almost everything. And I also got from the 21 Days of Beauty, that's going to be a theme that goes throughout this, a buxom, I've got to find the name of it. The shade is called Dolly Danger. It is a plump line lip liner crayon. And it's really fat, and I thought I would hate that. But I really like it I mean, you can sharpen it and keep it sharp enough to make a really, distinct line without any problems. But what I like about it is that I like the thickness of it. So when I go around my lips, it kind of covers more area than a tiny little thin pencil would. And so when I it's kind of almost like an instant ombre, and I like that. And this is a beautiful shade. I have this in another shade, but this one's my favorite. It goes with most of my pinky nudes because I own every pinky nude in the world, I think. So speaking of lipsticks and pinky nudes, probably, I'm kind of in my in-between fall, or summer and fall, or spring and fall, whatever. I don't even know what season it is. In between summer and fall, I guess. Spring and fall. I'm making myself out to be a total dingbat. Anyway, pinky nudes, rosy mauves, those are what I'm into right now. I love these Bare Minerals Gen Nude liquid lipsticks because they're very comfortable. They stay on for a long time. They're beautiful. I love nudes, period. And this is the shade that I can't see without my eyes. This shade Slay. It's really pretty. And it's got a frosted tube so you can't see. And my hands are full. And there's Boo Bear behind us. Anyways, I love this. This is like my perfect everyday pinky nude color. I pulled out another from the past, and this is the Kate Rimmel number 104, and this is a beautiful, it's warmer. It's a pinky nude, but it's a little bit deeper and it's warmer. And I really love this one. I love this line all the way. I have lots of different ones from this line that I enjoy, but that color is another one of my favorites for every day. And this seems to be popular among YouTubers because I've seen Emily Noel talk about it, which is why I tried it, because of a picture I saw with her on it. And then also I saw Coffee Break with Danny. And this is similar to the other one, but this has a little bit more purple in it. But this is beautiful. And I love the Maybelline Creamy Mattes line. I love the formula. It's just a really good formula. I like that you can, it lasts a long time, but when you need to reapply, it layers well on top of existing lipstick without getting all crumbly and funky. So, what you doing back there? Is it bath time? It's bath time for Boo Bear. He's so cute. I love him. All right. Another product that I have rediscovered this month is the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. With finding the foundation from Too Faced that I really like, and it's matte, I have found that I can use a luminous primer underneath that and add a little glow, and the foundation keeps everything matte and pretty, but a little bit of the glow does show through, so it gives me almost a satin finish, but it's still, it looks satin, but it's still matte as far as controlling oil and not being oily or dry on the exterior. I just really like this, and I bought 2 of these. I had a sample of this once, so I knew I liked it. So when it went on sale, I bought 2, and I've put it back in my drawer and have been using it, and I really like it. And last, I pulled out a whole bunch of eyeliners that were open because I didn't want to open any more eyeliners until I used up the ones that I have. Now, this is a favorite, but there's also I have a little issue with it, but it is the Tarte Maneater. And you guys know that I love brush tips, and this is a really nice, narrow, thin, very easily controlled tip, and I love that. The only problem I have, and it is black and matte, and I love the color and I love the finish. The only problem I have is once I have powdered eyeshadow on, which is almost always, when I go along my inner corner with it, sometimes it'll kind of bleed into the very fine lines on my eyelid. Now, for me, Miss Perfectionist, drive my own self insane perfectionist, that bothers me that there's a little bit of a jagged line. Now, anybody who isn't right here in my face isn't going to see that. And so sometimes I just have to let myself off the hook and just chill already about something not being exactly perfect and leaving well enough alone. And I have to do that with this. But the benefits of it, as far as the color and the finish, I love so much that I'll deal with that little problem. Sometimes I'll grab something like the Balm Schwing that has a really tiny tip and just smooth that out a little bit. But most days I just let it ride, and by the time I leave here for work and go, I'm knee deep in second graders, I'm not really worried about a little jagged line or whatever you want to call it, little skips. But I do like this eyeliner, and I'm going through several different ones right now, and that's one of my favorites. I don't ordinarily do like fooies or things that I don't like, but today I'm going to, because this is the first time I ever used something that I just looked at and thought, man, I can't even work with this. Like, I can't even deal with this. I got this Tarte's lip paint. It's not the formula, it's the color. And the color is Pillow Talk. And when I got this, I'm like, I put it on my hand. It looked real peachy. And I was like, maybe I can make it work. I put a darker lip liner on. And then I put this on. And I look like I straight up took Tarte Shape Tape and put it on my mouth. And I was like, I can't even work with this. Like, I can't even make this work. And I was sitting there looking at it thinking, I don't know what kind of pale you would have to be for this to look okay. Like, you would have to be translucent, transparent white, like snow white for this to work. And maybe it would look beautiful on somebody that light. But for me, no. And it, like, instantly going into my giveaway pile. And I don't know who's going to want it. But that's the only thing I ever have a problem with BoxyCharm is, you know, sometimes you get shades that just don't work for you. But then it ends up being something good for somebody else. But I can't figure out who else this is going to be good for. So just a wee little fooey at the end here. And I don't know why. I guess I'm stealing. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting her name. How can I forget her name? I've been watching her for years. Leslie. Lip Gloss Leslie. Always says Friday favorites and fooeys. So sorry, I'm not trying to steal it. So my unfavorite is this Pillow Talk Tarte lip paint. So yeah, all right guys, so that's it for my favorites for October. I hope you enjoyed hearing all my little anecdotes about the products that I've been loving and the one thing I haven't been loving. But I really enjoy favorites videos, and I like making them because it just reminds me of all the things that I enjoy and love and all the things that I want to tell somebody else about, like, go get this, you know. And a lot of times that's where I come up with ideas for new products. You guys, a lot of you are very responsible for me spending a lot of money on makeup. But not that I don't love to do that, because I do. And you know it. You know I love it. I love having excuses to do so. So I hope you found something that maybe sparked your interest that you might want to try. If you have any questions or anything like that, just let me know in the comments section. I'll be glad to help you out. Yeah, that's it for me. Thanks so much for being here. As always, I appreciate your time. I really enjoy the community that we're building here and the cool conversations that we're having in the comment section and just getting to know you guys and letting you into my life, and it's just fun. My happy place, like I always tell you. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. And until next time, take care and God bless. Bye, guys. And if you'd like to see what those are, it'd be Yipes. Please consider subscribing and click the little alert bell so that when I upload, if I could talk, it would be a miracle.